in Kampala. It's one of those days where you wake up to an interesting shower that's cooling everything and reducing the amount of dust. And talking about raining, this morning we're talking nothing but water. Yesterday was International Water Day. Today it rains, and it also rains on the big story with the MD of National Water and Sewerage Corporation, Dr. Severin Bishop. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Simon.
I don't even know why these guys have brought you this cup of tea that we use, picked by boiling water. I bet your people go pick a glass and fetch water directly from the tap of NTV for you to drink and maybe prove to us that your water is as safe as it gets. That's the campaign that you've been running. At least we see you in the newspapers drinking water directly off the tap. What is the situation with regard to the state of the water? Not only in Kampala, but wherever your pipes reach.
Okay, the state of the water. I will talk about it in two parts. One is the quality, the other one is the quantity. The quality, as you saw me drinking the water, our water is up to drinking water standards. Over the last 3 weeks, there was a typhoid outbreak in Kampala, and we have to be vigilant to rule out any possibility of our water being the cause of typhoid. And what we did, we carried out water quality monitoring all over the place. We took some 80 samples at the same time to be sure, and we tested all of them. They were okay in terms of fecal coliform, they were okay in terms of E. coli, they are okay in terms of Salmonella typhi, the organism that causes typhoid.
Or this particular strain of typhoid?
Yes, this particular strain. And I told my people we must do daily monitoring of the water. It is true, when you are in a service like national water, the water can be recontaminated. But what we do, we normally maintain a certain level of chlorine in the water, so that if there is recontamination, the chlorine is very quick to kill the organism.
Talk about chlorine. The other day I was hearing the experts. There are many experts in a place called Facebook. When you go inside there, that's where you find people who can squeeze juice out of a rock. There will be people there who can go to the moon and back. If you've been to the moon once, people on Facebook have been there 6 times and they're still counting. So when I was reading through the expert opinion on Facebook, they were saying that, Kampala water lacks chlorine. The other day when in days earlier, you would open it up and the water would come and create a foam like that of beer. Now the water is just there without a single bubble, and that's inside of no chlorine. And to that is a point of concern.
I think the social media, we are going to start describing it differently. Because when we test our water, we test the color, we test the turbidity, we test the chlorine residue in the water, we test the conductivity, we test the E. coli.
Those are details that the guy who's watching us this morning doesn't really want so much. He wants to know. So you are saying that whatever it is that we've had as waterborne diseases and water have nothing to do with your water as it comes through our pipes?
No. It has nothing to do. We have tested our water.
Press reports indicated that the World Health Organization said that Kampala's water is unsafe. Earlier on, as we were having a preparatory banter on this, you said it is a misquotation in the sense that they talked about water that's not under the jurisdiction of National Water and Sewerage Corporation. At what point do you begin to take responsibility out of what water?
I think it was a misquotation. First of all, for anybody to insinuate that World Health Organization say national water is unsafe. I think what they meant was that the sources of water, like spring water and other sources of water, are unsafe, and which is true. It is true we have conducted tests with spring water, with well water, and found it unsafe. But in the same press statement, the Director General of Health Services told the public that national water is safe, and therefore we need to put these things in proper context. Now, when it comes to national water being there and people choosing to use other means, I think that is an issue we need to deal with jointly, together with KCC and together with Ministry of Health, to sensitize the people and tell them that this source is contaminated, this source is okay.
There's rehabilitation works and all that. What can you say to people whose taps are dry?
That's why you see me smiling today, because it has rained. A dry spell has been a bit of a toll on us. When there is a dry spell, there's no rainwater harvesting, so that aspect of demand also comes to us. So for the last 3 or 4 months, we've really had challenges of meeting the demand of Kampala especially. Because as I speak now, the demand for Kampala is about 240 million liters per day. But our facilities in Gaba can give 200 million liters per day.
So the 40.
So we have a difference, a deficit of 40.
So you load shed water supply?
Yes, we've adopted a rationing strategy, especially during this dry spell. But what we are doing is we're going to add 50 million liters per day by August or September this year. The works are already ongoing. Now when we do that, we shall have covered the demand. Come 2018, we shall have added another 120 million liters per day through the construction we're going to do in Katosi. So the people of Kampala should not worry about availability. First of all, now that it has rained, it is going to reduce the effect of demand on us. And then it will give us chance to go and add 50 million liters per day in September, where we think we shall drastically reduce these dry zones.
There is what we see as sprawling Kampala growing into new neighborhoods and all that. All these neighborhoods, all they have under them is septic tank after septic tank. Gone are the days when you have a central sewer line that collects all this and dumps it somewhere, as we see in the case of Gorobi and other old neighborhoods. Doesn't it bother you that sometimes all these fecal material is sinking somewhere underneath people's homes and all that could possibly act as a time bomb to disrupt not only just water supply, but also the sewage management in this country?
There's every effort to make sure that we increase sewage coverage in Kampala. If you go to Rubiji, you see the system which we have put there. If you come here to Gorobi, you see the huge system which we are putting there. And all this is meant to reduce the sanitation problem in Kampala. As I talk now, when we finish the Gorobi system, we hope to increase our sewage coverage drastically. The central business district is now 100% covered. But the outskirts, call it Ntinda, call it Rubaga,
we talk about
all
these,
those places.
you know, people are building these houses in Wati and all that. But
Yes,
there's a central
yes.
sewer line. Everyone is sinking their own septic tank.
There's no central sewer line.
They are just dignified pit latrines, only that of course they pass through a laboratory.
Yes. Yeah, true. And I think this is why we are implementing an ambitious sewage master plan to make sure that we put in place decentralized sewage system. You see one in Rubiji, there's going to be one in Narukolongo, there's one we are constructing in Gorobi, we have a system in Chinawataka. So all this is meant to alleviate the sanitation problem in Kampala.
Let's put a time cap.
The Gorobi system is about 30% done now.
So we're looking at 2018.
No, 2016, 2017. The system will be
That's the
there.
one that will also be generating some bit of electricity.
Yes. The Narukolongo system, we are already in discussion with the funding, and when we get it, we shall also start it.
So we're looking at about 2020.
Yes, Chinawataka, no. I think Narukolongo will be about 2018. The Chinawataka system is already under consideration now. Actually, we just want to vary the construction of the Gorobi and incorporate Chinawataka system as well.
That's 2017.
That's 2017.
So clearly all these plans are in place, and so we can say roughly that by 2020, sewage management in what is today the Greater Kampala will be under some bit of relief.
Exactly. Of course, what I need to alert the public is they are going to see us digging massively. Sewage is a very massive investment. You see us digging around the Grove Tower there to put a huge pipe where you can walk yourself, for example. So when we are doing those works, we shall ask the intelligence of the public to know that you cannot produce a baby without labor pains.
Or you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs, as we already say here. That's a challenge the national water has to face and must struggle with every single day. That the failure for me to get that much desired drop of water from my taps, I will certainly cry and bring the skies down, because without water, not much else can be done. And so they have their job clearly cut out, they have their challenge well spelled out, and the best we can do as citizens is not only just to look out and wait to point an accusing finger, but also play our part in terms of sustainable use of the resources. It may be there, may be able to afford it, but certainly use it sparingly, and of course use it sustainably. Also, most importantly, personal hygiene, and of course the hygiene of the utensils and the integrity of your tanks ought to be seriously checked in.